I recently came across this really good book. It's by this author named Adaline Yen Mah, and it's called Chinese Cinderella. I really liked it from the moment I saw it. It starts off by... Well, why don't I just show you? But first, let's get a change of scenery. This loving family might seem normal. The seeming loving family surrounding a grand dining table. Well, you'd be forgiven for thinking so. Let's head in. Come on. First off, this is 1940s China, just after the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. And this century is one heavily marked by periods of changing customs and social changes. Grandma Nina, over there at the table's head, has been crippled for life by the outdated practice of binding women's large feet by crushing the toes to the sole for beauty standards. As you see, this family is far from perfect. When Jun Ling was only 1 year old, their father remarried to a Chinese Eurasian girl who, Nang as they call her, was only 17 at the time of the marriage. And the children's father frequently went away on business trips, so prolonged absences weren't uncommon. This one was different, however. Not only did it lead to the family to relocate to Shanghai, but also a complete restructure of their family. By Chinese tradition, the oldest male should have kept charge of the house. That didn't happen. Instead, Nang placed herself as head of the house, and she was ruthless. Ye Ye and Aunt Baba stayed back in Tianjin. While they're there, they raised Nang's 2 real children until they could rejoin the family. When they finally arrived, Nang beat her own daughter because she was too young to recognize her mother. Not all is gloom, however. Shenzhen is one of the few places that Juling, or as now she's beginning to be called in English, Adaline, feels safe from her family, as this is the only other place she's allowed to go besides her residence. Here is the place where she has a chance to make meaningful relationships with girls her age. As a bonus, she even makes a friend or two. This video is not sponsored, but I would like to give a moment to talk about Libby. I'm in high school. You are in high school, which means you have access to hundreds of amazing books at any time in your local media center, with new arrivals weekly. What could be better than that? But that begs the question. Where will you get your fresh supply of books when you graduate? Sure, you could get them at a public library, but sometimes that's not always convenient. Another option would be getting them off Amazon, but that's not cheap. That's why I use Libby app. Libby is a completely free online digital library where you can access thousands of ebooks and audiobooks hand-selected by your library, available for you at any time, anywhere. All you need is a library card to get started. Did I mention it's free? You can even download books and audiobooks for offline access, and everything syncs over to all your devices for a seamless experience. Do overdrive.com/app/Libby to continue your reading adventure.
父亲，这是小姐姐的名字，我是俊玲。
Dangon, Junling. 现在告诉我你的出生日期。
恐怕我不知道，神父。
让我们看看吧。告诉你生日我为什么不给你我的生日？
是的，拜托了，父亲。
现在你知道这是有人问你生日是该是我生日了。
Oh, sorry. I guess I dozed off there. Where were we? Ah, yes. Unfortunately, what you just saw is the end of Adaline's childhood in Shanghai. After Yang found out over the phone she was lied to about going to school when school was in fact cancelled, instead going to a friend's birthday party. Upon hearing this, Yang had her lashed with a dog whip. A couple days later, Adaline was elected president of her class. They held an American-style election and everything. And when she won, her friends well knew that they could never come over to her house and that she could never come over to theirs. But they went over to hers anyway, much to her parents' major displeasement. She was beaten again as a result. But this time, her friends witnessed this brutality. And almost immediately after they all left, her parents got plane tickets back to town. So far, to sum up, Adaline, at this point, is a young 11-year-old girl who is said to be accursed by her family, is frequently mocked and mistreated by her family, an abusive stepmother. Her father forgot her name, and she has suffered several deaths of family members and is now abandoned in the shell of a foreign convert school built to hold several thousand, with numbers rapidly dwindling in the teens because the communists are rapidly advancing down the coast and will be here within a few short months, possibly to throw us all in prison. Did I say too much? Soon the only student left within these long empty halls of this massive facility. And the nuns soon lost interest trying to teach her, and at a loss of what to teach her. Besides her books, Adaline once wandered into the chapel after lunch. This is one of the first times in a long time where she has truly felt peace. So, eventually, Adaline did get rescued from the boarding school. But anyway, she did not get captured by communists, thankfully. So is that it? She escapes and lives happily ever after? Right? No, that is actually the furthest thing from the truth, as she was only brought to Hong Kong to be sent to another boarding school. Deeply sorry for the letdown. Oh, thank you. Looks like Adaline found herself in the paper. Turns out this chapter in her life isn't a letdown after all.